Okay. All right, everybody. I am Sam Jennerjohn, and I'm with Helping Services, Youth Mentoring here in Delaware County. I am going to be doing a presentation training on the dangers of prescription drugs. Not saying all prescription drugs are dangerous, just kind of when you misuse them, and kind of the effects and warning signs to be looking for. All right, just some housekeeping. If you guys could all please sign in using the chat box, that would be great. The presentation is being recorded. You are welcome to use your video, but please keep yourself on mute to kind of eliminate those other outside distractions. And the recording and PowerPoint will be sent to you if I have your email. So yep, just please sign in that chat box so we can count on who's all here. Thank you. So youth mentoring strives to navigate youth away from risky behaviors. Here in Delaware County, we have 28 matches currently. Just trained 9 more high school mentors at Mac Valley. So hoping to get some more school-based ones rolling. Kathy, do you have any updates or anything you want to share for Haw up there? For Howard, Allamakee, and Winneshiek?
Just that things are going well. We're doing school-based and community-based mentoring, and we work on helping the kids to make healthy choices related to substance abuse prevention and gambling behaviors and lots of other good things. So we have a few mentors on the training today, so we really welcome everyone and so glad that you're all here. That's my quick deal.
Thank you, Kathy. Yes. All right, kind of some things we're going to go over today. We're going to just talk about the definition, some different kinds, looking for those warning signs, and some things with prevention. We're still getting a few stragglers coming on for us. So over on the side, you see the little blurb. It says nearly 51% of those who misuse prescription, well, maybe if I can move my screen there, misuse prescription pain relievers, get them from family or friends. That is from the 2019 National Survey on Drug Use and Health. I have a few other little statistics kind of thrown in throughout here. All right, prescription drug. The definition of a prescription drug is a drug that can be obtained only by means of a physician's prescription. So misuse definition would be the use of a prescription medication in a way not intended by the prescribing doctor. So I think my next slide here goes to John. He is going to help with a couple slides. He is kind of our professional of this topic, if you may. So John, you want to go ahead and take over this slide?
Yes, yep, I can. So this slide, it's a complicated formula as to why people may be using and then using those things and leading to an actual addiction, also known as maybe a substance use disorder, opioid use disorder, or whatever that substance may be. So there are different protective factors, and you can see kind of over on the other side there what a protective factor is. It's having those supports and resilience needed to stay resilient in the face of challenges. And then those risk factors are conditions that increase the likelihood of negative outcomes. So over on the left-hand side, you can see right there, so just different levels of impact and overall risk for people developing an addiction and maybe the potential to misuse those prescription drugs. So anywhere from individual and internal, social and peers, family, genetic makeup, things going on in school and work, the community that they live in, society, and then that environment. Individual and internal, that could be maybe this is a person who is maybe they're struggling with a mental health issue. They don't know where to go get that help. So they're seeking out these other medications or something to be able to help that. I believe it is that, especially for teens, stress is the biggest reason that they have given for wanting to misusing prescription medications, followed by, that peer pressure, other people are around them doing it. And those types of things. So again, social peers, if it's something that is going to be accepted and it's okay to do, and other people are kind of doing that around them, people are more likely to do that. Family, that genetic makeup, if there is maybe that family history of an addiction or something like that, that also increases that likelihood of an addiction happening. Again, school, work, those different things going on, that's that stress going on. Again, community, society, and environment. If it's something that is pretty acceptable or pretty easy to get, that also really increases that risk for being able to misuse those medications, and then also for developing that addiction. So again, it's complicated. All of these different things play a part. It's not just one thing, and somebody can have all of those protective factors in place, having that, great family support, that school involvement, that community involvement, all of those things, that still doesn't necessarily mean that they won't develop an addiction or won't potentially misuse those things. It just really decreases the chances of that happening. Again, like I said, it's really complicated. We're still trying to kind of figure out and really pinpoint what that is, but it's really a mixture of all of these different things going on.
Great, thank you, John. Does anybody at this time have any questions or comments? You can unmute yourself or put it in the chat box. If there's anything for myself or for John you'd like to answer after these first few slides. All righty. If you do end up having questions or comments, throw them in the chat or unmute yourself, and we are happy to discuss it. So we will move on. So here are some different kinds. So the opioids, the CNS, the central nervous system, stimulants, and fake pills. Fake pills are a kind of a big topic right now. So another little blurb I have on the side, it says every day more than 128 people die from an opioid overdose, including prescription medications and heroin. That is also from the 2019 Centers for Disease Control. Okay, opioids. On the screen are some kinds, and opioids are used to treat pain. Some effects and kind of like warnings that come along with those for misusing would be constipation, nausea, drowsiness, slowed breathing rate, poor coordination, and some confusion. There are tons more that kind of go along with that. I just kind of picked them out and threw in a couple of those that would come along that you could be looking for. CNS, the central nervous system, those are used to treat anxiety and sleep disorders. Some of the effects and warnings kind of that go along with that would be drowsiness, unsteady walking, problems with memory, poor concentration, and some slurred speech. We still got stragglers coming on. Awesome. So with that, like I said, there's tons of other things that go with that. I just pulled out some different kinds. And with stimulants, those are used to treat ADHD and some sleep disorders. So some kind of warning signs and effects with that would be increased alertness, irregular heartbeat, high blood pressure, agitation, and reduced appetite. And then fake pills. This is a pretty big topic right now. As you can see in the corner, there is, they look very similar. If you look down there, the fake and the authentic. Right now, they're being found on social media platforms, and they look very similar to the real product. But a lot of these are coming with high dosages of like fentanyl or methamphetamine, and they're lethal. So basically what it comes down to is do not purchase or buy anything unless you're getting it from your trusted doctor or pharmacist. All right. Some overall warning signs, obviously the unexplained change in personality or attitude, sudden mood swings, irritability, spaced out, outburst of anger. If they appear fearful, anxious, paranoid with no reason, they could be stealing, forging, or selling prescriptions. increase or decrease in sleep, request early refills, or they're losing their prescription, or they could be seeking for more than prescriptions from more than one doctor. So those are just kind of some things to be like on the lookout for. And now we get to everyone to kind of get involved. I have a couple scenarios. So once I'm done reading these, I will ask a couple questions and you guys can unmute yourself or put it in the chat, whatever you guys feel comfortable with. So yeah, basically the first scenario is Nira, Jasmine, and Jeff stare awkwardly at each other. Jeff, so I know you don't want to drink, but do you want something else that can result in a pretty good time? Jasmine, like what? Jeff, I have a few oxys and I'm happy to share them if you want some. They make you feel like you're buzzing, but they're pills, so you don't have to worry about getting arrested. Want a few? Jasmine, sure, why not? Nira, excuse us, we'll be back in just a second. Nira drags Jasmine away from Jeff. What are you doing? What am I doing? What are you doing? That guy is really cute and I want him to like me. It's just a few pills. Please, it'll be fine. So, scenario 1, how would you handle this situation? If you guys want to unmute yourself or put it in the chat box. Maybe. So my questions are, how would you handle the situation and what would you say to Jeff? Like if you were Nira and Jasmine?
There's some things in the chat. Christy says you don't know what's in those pills. Elaine says 1 pill could kill you. Carrie says if I were Nira, I would push Jasmine to say no and say no myself. Christy also shared best to leave those pills alone.
Yes.
And I think it would be Nira trying my best to encourage her not to use. And prescription drugs are still drugs. They're illegal. Good points.
Yes. Yes. Awesome job.
Stop and think about it. You know what's in those pills.
Yes. Thank you all for the input on that one. And yeah, exactly. What would you say to Jeff? You know, making sure he's even aware that these pills are still illegal. They are not prescribed to, you know, Jasmine or Nira or potentially even Jeff. So yeah, those were really good answers and examples that everyone gave for scenario 1. Thank you. Scenario 2. Okay, Harper. I'm not entirely sure, but my knee has been throbbing recently after practice. Peyton, did you tell Coach Corbin? She probably would give you a breather in practice if she knew you were hurt. Harper, no way, I'm not telling Coach Corbin. If you don't practice, you don't play. And we play Hamilton this weekend. They're our biggest rivals. There's no way I'm sitting that game out. Peyton, well, what are you going to do? You're clearly in a lot of pain. Harper, I don't know. I keep taking ibuprofen, but it isn't working. Peyton, could you just take more of it? Harper, no, I've taken the maximum that the instructions state, but it still isn't helping. I think I might resort to plan B and take some of my old Percocets. Peyton, Percocets, what are those? Harper, it's a pain medication my dentist gave me after I got my wisdom teeth pulled. I didn't have much pain, so I have several pills left over. I decided to keep them around just in case I needed them in the future. I think I'll just take 1 or 2 before the match Saturday. That should help me play through the pain. What do you think? So scenario 2, my questions are, how would you respond to Harper's last comment? And how could you safely deal with your injury? Again, in the chat box or unmute yourself and go ahead and talk.
Someone shared injury equals go back to the doctor. If I were Peyton, I'd ask Harper if she knows how potentially addictive those meds are. Wow, they're coming in so fast, I can't even read them all, Sam.
Well, that's always a plus.
I know. Let's see how addictive those meds are. She could develop a dependency. Someone else said they could be playing under the influence of drugs. She needs to be seen by a doctor, not take meds prescribed by a dentist. Good point. You could
Yes.
injure yourself more if you play. Yeah.
Yeah, really good points, guys. Just because those pills were prescribed to her, they were not prescribed to her for her knee pain. They were prescribed to her for her wisdom teeth. So, you know, people
And
think just because they were prescribed to her that it would be okay, but they aren't for her knee pain. She would need to go to the doctor, or, you know, chiropractor or wherever to get her knee seen and make sure she's okay to play so she doesn't hurt herself more, and so that she doesn't end up becoming addicted to Percocets.
And someone else said, not a good idea to take the old pills. I think you need to go to the doctors or at least talk to the coach.
Yeah. Yes.
I think I read them all.
Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, those are really good points, guys. Some help and prevention. I have our Your Life Iowa blurb up there. If you don't know what Your Life Iowa is, you can reach out to Kathy or myself, and we are more than happy to set up a time to kind of go over Your Life Iowa with you. But some other help and prevention. So store your medications in a secure location, such as lock boxes, medication safes, and other lockable spaces. Keep them out of reach of children. And obviously, if you're locking it up, then it's out of reach of those teenagers. Avoid storage spaces where children and others can easily access them, such as your drawers, nightstands, kitchen cabinets, those medicine cabinets in the bathroom. Some other things such as like following the directions. I mean, it seems pretty self-explanatory, but sometimes when those people are in a lot of pain, they think to themselves, oh, I can just, you know, take one a little bit sooner or take another one to help reduce the pain. That's not how that's working. If the pain meds are not controlling what they should be with your pain management, then you need to contact your doctor. Do not take more. Also, just knowing your medication and talking about that with the people in your household, such as knowing if your medication can or cannot be mixed with something, knowing the side effects that come along with that medication, and just knowing everything that comes with the prescription drug and the safety that comes with that. So this is also for John. John is going to take over for another few minutes to talk about the local drop-off sites.
Yes, thank you. So throughout, all of the counties actually, there are specific drop-off sites for medications that you can take. In many cases, you can also return those medications to your pharmacy. So when you're done taking them, you just pop them back there, so then you don't have those extra medications or anything laying around for that potential misuse. You can see here for Clayton County and Delaware County, there are a few other drop-off spots. So the sheriff's office, you can take it there and drop it off there with them. They'll take those things. What happens with those medications then is they are stored for a little while, then they're taken and they're properly destroyed. Clayton Drug, that's a pharmacy, just take it right back to them. They'll do the same thing. They'll destroy those medications in the right way. Again, Delaware County Sheriff's Office, and then Bremy Drug in Manchester. So all of those places are potential areas in, these two counties to take back those medications. If, taking them back, I gotta reword how I want to say this. When you are taking those medications back, say you're taking it back to like the sheriff's office or something, you are going to want to make sure that they are in, a sealed, a closable container. You're going to want to take off any like personal information off of that. So your name or anything like that. All of those things you're going to want to remove before taking them back. If taking them back maybe isn't an option, and maybe you live quite a ways away, or it's just not something that works, there are different drug disposal kits that can be purchased. And in some cases, the pharmacy will even have them. So I would just call ahead to that pharmacy and see if they have that there. You can take that home. All you do is you take those medications, add them into that disposal kit, and basically you add some water. There's a mixture in there that will it'll destroy those medications and deactivate them. Then they're safe to be just thrown away into the garbage or something like that. When it does come to disposal of medications, you don't want to just flush them down the toilet. You don't want to just throw them away in the garbage or anything like that. Throwing away in the garbage, that leaves them still available and accessible to other people. And then also, just flushing them down the toilet, potentially getting into the water system and stuff. Then you have all of that, kind of going around there, and leads to a potentially dangerous situation. Each year, twice a year in April, then we have one coming up here on October 29th, is the National Drug Take Back Day. So a lot of different area sheriff departments, police departments, and other different places participate in this. You can take back any kind of medications or anything like that. They don't ask any questions or things like that. You just take them back. They collect those things, and again, they take them and then they will destroy them properly. There's a link right there if you would want to kind of check that out and see which different areas are participating in the one on October 29th. Go ahead and click on that. All you have to do is type in your zip code, and it'll give you a list of the nearest areas that are participating in that Drug Take Back Day.
Great, thank you, John. If anyone has any questions at this time for either John or myself, please unmute yourself or put in the chat box, and we can get those answered.
For Winneshiek County, it is the sheriff's office and then the pharmacies. I don't remember if it's Donlin or if it's Thrifty. I think it may be both of them are potential ones that would be able to do that. They participate in the Take Back Day, but definitely the sheriff's office. They're ones that do that in Winneshiek County.
Yeah, Donlin Pharmacy and Thrifty White both have drop-off boxes.
Okay, awesome. I'm glad we got that question answered. Does anyone else have any more questions for John at this time on the drop-off sites?
People notice that the link didn't work, so we might want to get the correct link and send that to folks. And we can only do that if we have your email. So if you've pre-registered, you're great, we have that, but if we don't have your email, we cannot send it to you.
Correct.
I saw in the chat that somebody mentioned that the pharmacy provided them with a deactivation packet, and they will. A lot of pharmacies can do that. There is, and it's part of my grant that I'm going to be working on, is really promoting that. A lot of pharmacies are able to provide those things to little or no cost to the pharmacy. So hoping that more and more will be able to do that and provide those out to people. But something that I'm going to be working on in the 5-county area is really promoting that and getting those pharmacies to be able to hand those things out to medications so that people can destroy them at home. They don't have to drive and do all of those things. So yes, a lot of pharmacies will or can do that, and hopefully more will be able to be doing that as well.
Great, thank you. Yeah, if you don't have your email in the chat box and you did not pre-register, please do that if you would like. The link sent to you along with the recording and some other things, just to make sure we have you on our list to send that to. Thank you. Here are some things for us to think about together. Again, some healthy ways to cope. So number 1, it says healthy ways to relax or reduce stress instead of misusing prescription drugs. So again, for this one, go ahead and unmute yourself or put in the chat box some ideas of healthy ways to relax and reduce stress, or some things that you do to relax and reduce stress.
Someone sharing, take a nice long walk, yoga, or go be with a friend, soak in the hot tub. Oh, I'm getting more relaxed as I see these. Listen to music, exercise, read a book, listen to music or podcasts or workout, second yoga, outdoor activities, address the physical symptoms you're feeling. Baking.
Those are all great ways to kind of relax and recenter yourself. I had down also, just remember to deep breathe and count to 10 if needed. I know that works for some people, but a lot of everything else I had down was the exercise, take a bath, listening to music, yoga, meditation, things like that. So number 2 says healthy ways to perform well in school instead of misusing prescription drugs. So think of some ways that either yourself when you were in school, if you encourage your kids or your mentees, things that you encourage them to do instead of misusing prescription drugs. One of my examples was get plenty of sleep.
Yes, and that's what someone else shared. Get involved in drama, get enough exercise and rest for the day, get involved in sports and groups.
Yes.
Eat healthy. Joining a club, a Discord server, I don't know what that is, or a support group. I'm usually the most stressed when I feel like I don't have a good support system. Really good point.
Yes.
Get enough sleep, make sure you go to the doctor, maybe get tested for ADHD if you're experiencing focus problems. Get organized, ask for help, practice, work with a tutor, drink enough water. All good ideas.
Yes, those were all wonderful. I think the only thing I have to add to that would be, if you are feeling overwhelmed, those teachers are there to help you. So like talking with a teacher in private, if you don't, want the attention drawn to you, because like I said, we are there to help you. And so making sure you are engaged in school with your peers. Number 3.
And Sam, someone even related to that said ask for extensions if you need it for an assignment and you're overwhelmed. So that just relates to what you said as well.
Yes, that is a very good point. Those teachers are there to help. So if you need an extension because, you were just having a bad mental health day, because, we all have those, just chat with your teachers because we all want you to succeed. So just making sure that yourself, your mentees, your children, all of them know that we are all there to help. Number 3, techniques for turning down the invitation to misuse prescription drugs. I have a basic one of just say no, but I had a few more. Let's see if you guys can kind of pinpoint or have even other ideas outside of the just say no.
Make up an excuse like I have to go walk my dog.
Yes. Yep. Give a reason or excuse.
No, I'm good without using that. I'm not comfortable using. Make up an excuse. Coach or someone else, the drug that they test drugs for me. I can't keep up. Simple, no thanks, but don't get into telling them it's bad, not good. Say it's your choice, no shaming. Use sports, work, or academics as an excuse. Your parents are good excuses too. If you get caught or if you get kicked out or disqualified. Tell them you can't for health reasons. My kids have been told that they need to say scared of what their mom will do to them. Good. Yeah, use that parent as an excuse.
Yep.
Be honest, say I don't use, but thanks.
Yeah. And those are basically all I have down also. In addition to those, some people are able to use the humor or tell a joke to kind of make the topic go away from the using positive alternatives. So talking about those, healthy ways to relax or perform well in school, as long as, you're educated on the prescription drug and what comes along with that. So thank you all for all your input on all of those. It was very, very active for Kathy to keep up with everybody. Okay, so before we finish the last few slides, we are going to throw the survey, the link into the chat for you guys to go ahead and quickly do that. And then after a few minutes, you guys will come back on and then we will wrap up the presentation. Let's see, Kathy, do you have the link or do you want me to grab it? There we go. There, the link is in the chat. If you guys want to go ahead and click that, quickly do that and then jump back on. We'll just give you guys a few minutes here.
That way it's all done, right?
Yes. Give you guys just a few more minutes to finish those up. I cannot see if you are back on just because of how I have my screen set up. So if you want to just put in the chat or unmute yourself and let me know you're back so that I know I can move on.
Yep, folks are saying they're back.
Okay, awesome. As everyone is finishing up and jumping back on, this slide is just my references on where I got the bonus material on top of where I received my information. And if you are looking at finding more information on these things, these sites are really awesome. The scenarios I got from the Generation RX, there was more than one. They had more worksheets to go with them, so they are great if you plan to, continue to talk to youth and have those scenarios. I recommend Generation RX. Back to the Your Life Iowa presentations. Kathy and I have a goal to reach 100 adults. So basically, if you haven't heard about it, need refreshed, think that, your book club or church or something along those lines could benefit from learning about Your Life Iowa, or you work closely with kiddos and you want to learn more, or you just think that this would be a great resource to have, reach out to Kathy or myself. We can schedule a training. We can let you know when our next one is. We want to make sure everyone is up to date on this Your Life Iowa hotline. Things are always changing, but as of right now, it is still the 24/7 hotline with call, text, chat, online. So basically, it's your one-stop shop for it all. So if you do need refreshed or want to schedule something, just reach out to Kathy or myself. Any questions or comments? If it's a question, John can probably pop on and answer. If it's something that I'm unaware of myself, you can unmute yourself or put it in the chat box. And then as we are finishing up, Kathy and I would just like to say thank you. Our email is on there, and the Helping Services phone number. If you guys have any other questions, comments, or concerns, or if there's any other trainings you would like to see, feel free to let us know. And we are always here to educate as much as we can and listen to what needs educated in the areas that we serve. So I just want to say thank you.
I did want to hop on. So when I was talking about the Drug Take Back Day in Winneshiek County, so the Winneshiek County Sheriff's Office isn't participating in the Drug Take Back Day this October, but they are taking part in the one in the spring. So just so people have that information there, I kind of misspoke. So thank you.
Yes, thank you, John.
Lots of folks are saying thank you.
Yeah, thank you all so much for joining and taking the time out of your lunch and listening to us kind of talk about a topic that is always going to be around, especially with those fake pills coming more and more on these social media platforms. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for coming and learning as we go. And if no one has any questions or comments, then we are done for today, and be on the lookout for the link sent to you, the correct link for that drug take back day, the recording of the video, and anything else we decide to provide with this training. Thank you all again.